A very warm welcome to this conversation with Dr. Olushola Segun Odusoya, the Director General, National Center for Technology Management, otherwise known as Nacetem.
Good morning, and it's a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you for the opportunity. Indeed, one of the cardinal focus of the Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government is that of job creation and capacity building. As an agency of government, how are you helping this government to achieve this set objective?
Well, the National Center for Technology Management has a mandate to train middle and high-level manpower in the area of science, technology, and innovation in preparation for agile development in the economy, and to align and retrain those who are at practice level. So it is just in line with our mandate, among other things, to do policy research, policy analysis, and provide advisory to government, so that government is in a position where it can plan based on data, and then they can now have an informed decision based on data. So data-driven decision making becomes the hallmark of the contribution of Nacetem to nation building. But when you look at the data we have collected over the years, one thing that is obvious is that there is a dearth of competent people with the relevant skills for national development. When you interact with those people in education, they will tell you that the problems of education in Nigeria hover around governance issues that are related to our equity dimensions. And the equity dimensions come very bravely in three areas. And those are the areas of quality, relevance, and access. So Nacetem's focus was to try to bridge, this dearth of competent, skilled individuals by trying to work with the axiom that the challenges we face are those of quality, relevance, and access. And that is why we established the Nacetem Academy. Now, when you look at the aspirations of the government in the 8-point agenda, and where it comes to job creation and skills development, and the fact that majority of the populace of Nigeria are in that age where I say they are youths, in other words, young and easily adaptable to new developments. But you now realize that there is a skills problem, there is a skills gap, and that's where Nacetem wants to come in. And we want to come in also boldly to try to ensure that we have the relevant numbers of people who are skilled that will take on these jobs. We don't want a situation where the businesses will be created and then we'll now create jobs where our people are not skilled enough to participate in the new economy that is emerging. The Nigerian economy that will emerge would, among other things, become a digital economy. And when you look at the digital skills literacy rates, you will find that there are issues there. And being an agency that is mandated to train middle and high-level manpower, it becomes very important for us to step in quickly to help address the issues that we have seen. Now, in the fourth industrial revolution that has dawned on us, it is clear that we need to really work in a different way. It will appear as if our institutions are not producing the relevant number of skilled individuals. And already we have, at practice level, a large array of people who are already functioning and they need to be upskilled. So we came up with the establishment of the Nacetem Academy. The Nacetem Academy is our own brainchild in support of the current 8-point agenda to ensure that, first of all, those who are at work can work better using 21st century skill sets. And these skill sets include critical thinking, collaborative effort, communication, and effectiveness, essentially, in the workplace. The tools to use are the tools that are now being provided by the Nacetem Academy. So we felt the need, first of all, to do what is done overseas. After you set up an institution, you headhunt, you look for the best people to come to that institution to train and provide competencies to people. You also do it within a framework of regulation, and we ensure that we work with all the partners, and that's why we sought out some institutions, and especially COMIT, because COMIT came with a bouquet of skills that also come with certification. You know, you don't usually find that combination where you train and then you certify. And these certifications are international certifications, meaning that you improve the competitiveness of the average Nigerian, you improve his ability to deliver on his job. So in one fell swoop, we will be solving the problems identified in education as quality, because this is quality education we are providing, access, because it's digital and it's available, and you can go back, relearn what you have learned, understand it, and it's self-paced, and the quality is in line with what is needed for national development. The key thing is, if this economy grows the way we dream it will grow, it has to be on the back of Nigerians. It has to be on the back of skilled people who have come into the system. It is our own duty and our own commitment to ensure that Nigerians participate in the emerging Nigerian economy. We shouldn't create an economy for people and then we lay back and then we are providing them with mere services. We should be the operators of our economy. For a long time, the Nigerian economy was operated outside the confines of the skills that Nigerians had. We had the oil industry that was largely non-Nigerian. We had agriculture establishments that were largely non-Nigerian. The rail system was largely non-Nigerian. And it now becomes a question, are we teaching the relevant skills that are needed for national development? The answer to that is neither here nor there. But one thing is certain, Nigerians are trainable. We have one baseline knowledge, and that is ability to communicate in English. And English is the medium for most of these training opportunities. So why latch on to the opportunity we have that is already strong and make sure that we get a better impact on society? So that's why the Nacetem Academy was set up, and then we invited COMIT, who has a bouquet that is complete, provides certification, provides training. The training is digital, makes it accessible to as many people as possible. So what it means is that what we were doing before, training people within boardrooms, we now make it more available to more people. So we try to solve the equity issue. So it's not a matter if you are a male or a female. We are also making it economically accessible by making it cheap. The cost of the training opportunities is equivalent to what people spend when they go to have meals in expensive restaurants or meals generally. They are affordable, in other words. So we are making education democratized, available to people, and in quality and relevance to national development and aspirations. So we are completely in line with the renewed hope agenda, and perhaps the real agenda of Nigerian people to have quality life, which the renewed hope just basically dances around. But the aspirations of the Nigerians is to live in a country where they are happy and their work is rewarded, where people work like elephants and they get rewarded like elephants, not where you work like elephants and you get rewarded like ants. So to do that, you need to be skilled. You need to improve upon your skills, and it's a continuum. So that continuum is what Nacetem is offering, and we are marketing it aggressively so that people become aware that even if you have gone to school, this is the finishing school. And Nacetem has provided the academy as a finishing school for Nigeria.
Considering the very vast geographical expanse of Nigeria, how does your agency intend to ensure that these trainings spread across all the nooks and crannies of the country to include all Nigerians desirous of this training?
But the beauty of Nacetem is that we have offices in the 6 geopolitical zones, and we are pushing technology into all of these areas. Among the things we do, apart from policy research, policy analysis, is for us to do infusion of technology, infusion of knowledge. And these centers we have are the coordinators of the training. However, the job at hand is like what in those olden days they call HOB, meaning it's not one person's calling, it's a call for everybody. So we are going to be engaging partners who will help us deliver this bespoke training, and then we proctor, monitor, and examine so that we can give certificates that are bespoke to the needs of the nation. So we'll be working with a lot of partners, institutions that already exist and all of that. Like I said, institutions exist. Practice level individuals are there doing their work on a daily basis. How do we improve their skills without them having to break that income generation cycle, but also having skills, and those skills become really adaptable to the rest of the world? It will shock you that people may not need to travel, but they begin to deliver services within Nigeria. The fundamental issue is skills that are marketable, are what is on the Commit platform. Now, if you look at it from the point of view, you say, yes, it's just a marketing thing because the package is complete. But then we have another array of skills that we are developing, and we will now market this jointly with Commit using the strategies that have already been developed by Commit, and we now come up with equivalence, and then begin to push that universities in Nigeria go this direction so that they can make education democratically available to many people who desire. And the education they make available comes with skills that are certified, and those certificates are acceptable all across the world. So accreditation is key. We need to make sure that all these things that we are doing, we get proper accreditation, and the skills can be verifiable. And when you encounter people in the workplace who have gone through training at the Nacetem Academy, you know that they have gone through a grill, not a meal, a grill that actually make them better, and they perform better and contribute better to society. So that's our own aspiration. People who are competent to address the socio-economic needs of Nigeria in a dynamic way.
Aside our usual certification and theories, what are those core areas that Nacetem intends to focus on in order to have comparative advantage?
Okay, for example, without trying to create controversy, we have issues with skills generally, especially ICT skills. And we also need to understand the fundamentals. Essentially, there is not enough data, about the skills needs, as well as, developing an understanding of the gaps and how to build them. So fundamentally, we have issues with digital literacy. Now, the government in its wisdom set up the National Digital Literacies Framework, where it sets up certain aspirations and goals. We are in complete alignment with that. And because the National Digital Skills Qualification Framework has already been set up, we also have the National Skills Qualification Framework that's already been set up. But this is focused on digital skills. So we are looking at, first, how do you train people? So we are looking at skills at the teacher's level. So that's a whole package. How do you democratize education to make it available to as many people as possible? In Nigeria, we have enormous resources. If you look at our television signals, they reach everywhere. You have TV white spaces. We have not used them. The TV white spaces have now been taken over by the communications company. On this, we can actually load information and make them available to as many people as possible. Then you move into core ICT skills. We have different strata of ICT skills, entry level, middle level, and tertiary level. And you can even distill and differentiate them into those who are in business and those who are in institutions. Then you can distill, go into accounting and go into practices that are very specific. And these are the things that the National Academy is all about. Commit has those things. We are building other ones in agriculture, in marine economy and blue economy, environment and all of that, to the extent that you will see that people will go to university, but they will end up in Nacetem to get these qualification skills that makes them mobile and competitive across the world. So we are focused on finishing individuals for the workplace. And we believe that this is exactly what is needed at this time. And that's why we cannot rest until we get the average Nigerian to have the qualifications and the skills that are required in the current workplace. It's just evident. Every time you go to the airport, you see Asians coming into the continent. And I'm not just talking of Nigeria alone. Whereas Africans are trying to go out of the continent, you see Asians coming in because they see opportunities. Perhaps maybe the skills that they have provides them with those visions to be able to see the opportunities that are here and we cannot see. And we have to actually get our people to understand and see what the Asians are seeing and then continue to work within this environment and build the opportunities that exist. I see a country full of opportunities, and I think what is missing is a country full of skilled people who can take advantage of those opportunities, and that's what we want to do, bridge those gaps.
Considering that most artisans in Nigeria lack global benchmarking, is this training going to be an all-commerce affair, or are there specific requirements that the trainees are intended, to have?
Okay, if you look at the suite of training opportunities that have been developed by Commit, you will see that you have ICT skills, specialist skills. You can become a software expert. You can become a Microsoft certified expert. You can become a Certiport certified expert. And it goes on and on and on. You know, these specific skills are the ones required by these multinationals that you are talking about. They are not asking you if you have a degree in omnibus computer science. They are asking you, are you certified to do X, Y, Z? And this is what we are providing. Now, you notice very recently, the National Board of Technology in Education, they came up with unbundling the computer science course. Because you say you have an HND in computer science, that means you are an AI expert, you are a software engineer, you are a developer of websites, you are a cybersecurity expert. You cannot be master of all. You know, you have to be competent in several places. So they unbundled it and broke it down into IT specialization, software engineering, and all of that. And that is what this is about. So we have things like cloud computing, software development, device configuration management, analytics, data like Python for software. What's the other one? Java. So many are there that are within that training. So it's broken down into those strata. Then you also asked about bread and butter skills. You know, we have some people talking of welding. Such bread and butter skills are also needed within the economy. And you see, the place where the economy is bleeding is that remote point where you see a welder sitting in this office, but he's welding within the depth of the ocean. It's remote work, and this is enabled by this kind of ICT competencies. We are not talking of the neighborhood welder. We are talking of the expert who is doing underground welding, who is checking weld lines, who is checking integrity of weld materials and all of that, designing and all of that. We need to move with where the rest of the world is. And those kind of skills are the ones that are required in the IT industry. They are the ones that are required in the telecoms industry. We need to actually get people to take advantage of the prior knowledge, which the National Skills Qualification Framework recognizes, and then latch it on with this National Digital Skills Qualification Framework, then latch it on to the needs of society in such a way that you will now see where those efforts are scaffolding. and helping us to develop this master individual who is a Nigerian, who is skilled, who is young, who is competitive, who is ready to join the rest of the world and demonstrate that you can actually get the entire skill set in Nigeria and engage the world. So that is where we are going. You see, we are latching onto scaffolds that are already been built in the education sector, and then we are trying to provide services that are bespoke of the emergent economy that has dawned on us today.
Policies are never lacking in Nigeria, but sustainability of such policies is very important. Tell us what measures are in place to ensure the sustainability of these policies to grow capacities in emerging technologies.
You see, you have mentioned one very critical thing. If you notice, I mentioned the National Skills Qualification Framework. I mentioned the National Digital Skills Qualification Framework. All of these things are there. So this is the meat. You know, the plans are there. We are now providing the enablement to make sure that those things happen. The final rung is for people to valorize the training we have given the people who come to our portal to learn, and then get them to get jobs, and then let those jobs make a difference. And then you begin to see that you can actually complete the training of an individual, and that is our focus. So we are basically operating what already exists. We are not creating something new. The frameworks have already been developed. Now this is the action. The policies are there, and then we're now following up with the actions that are necessary to make sure that those policies make a difference in people's lives, and then they now get a life itself. So in essence, we are also dealing with the equity dimensions, because this thing doesn't say you must be a man, you know, because the beauty of digital skills is that it takes away some of the identity initially, until the person comes forward and say, I'm the one who's been doing this work for you all this while. Then you now realize, oh, this person is as the person is. So just let's get on and begin to do the work. The assessment will come, the rewards will come, and then it is those who go through this, or the people who benefit from this training, who will reward us and say, oh, what you are doing is good. We should not be blowing our trumpets now and be telling all those highfalutin things. It is the end result that matters, and we are focused on making sure the results are as expected of any nation that wants to grow. I am a firm believer that at some point the decision will be made that some industries should set up in Nigeria, and when they do, we will have sufficient number in their critical numbers who are Nigerians, who are going to benefit from that economy, and we are not just going to create an economy for people from other climes to take advantage of, and we'll also be participants within the emergent Nigerian economy, which is going to be largely digital.
All right, as we wind down this conversation, one more question. Tell us, what synergies has Nacetem put in place to ensure a collaboration and partnership with both local and international bodies and stakeholders towards developing these required capacities that will drive economic growth?
See, we have brilliant opportunities. Nacetem, if you may know, is having its headquarters in what is considered the origin of Western Nigerians. And we have a traditional ruler who believes in all of these things, and his elite is educated, you understand. When you talk of the National Assembly, the chairman of the House Committee on Science and Technology is a very, very articulate and well-informed individual. He happens to be a member of the Committee of the Future, who understands the future of work and understands that the future of work is going to be largely digital, driven by ICT. Skills like software, engineering, networking, network security, and all of that are things that he understands. He understands the incidence of artificial intelligence and its application, and is ready to work with us. With universities, we are working with the Federal University of Technology, MENA, who by themselves have already even started to digitize those kind of classrooms where you used to have 1,000 students. They have removed those and made them largely digital. The students are learning at their own pace. They can go back and recall, and they have removed the rigor and stress from learning at that level. And they realize that the pass rate is higher. Of course, the drawbacks occur in certain other places. We have heard of certain places where the students are sometimes ahead of the lecturers. They are using artificial intelligence through generative AI to submit assignments on a large scale, and their teachers are still at stone age trying to mark those scripts with conventional methods, not realizing the students have gone ahead of them. So all of this require training and retraining, providing opportunities and all of that, and we are engaging. The data we are collecting, we have to ensure that this data is aligned with the Nigeria Bureau of Statistics, so that what we do is in alignment, and all we want is a record to say this data was generated by Nacetem. So we are working with all the relevant stakeholders, ensuring that we are not working in silos anymore. We are trying to work with everybody. We have collaborations with the Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Customs, and all the other relevant agencies where we are looking at the sector. For example, the marine economy. We tell the customs, look, this is a huge excise generating opportunity. We are going to create new genre of jobs, new opportunities for income generation and economic development. You need to be interested. We talk to the Nigerian Navy. We tell them that, look, we keep retiring people in their prime at 55 and all of that. These people are still competent and capable of helping us improve marine transport, improve fisheries, improve economic development where you build structures. Trains could be built, the cargo component of vehicles could be built, and all of that, apart from boats. So we are beginning to now engage entire MDAs in a way they have not been engaged before. Because our job is technology management, and technology finds itself in different, even in the courtrooms, technology is required. So we are engaging everybody, even the lawyers, because the carbon laws and all of that need to benefit Nigerians in a brilliant way. We need to have a situation where we are producers of oil and gas. How many of our own vessels built by us are engaged in the transport of all of these things? We have thought that far, and we believe that with our eyes set on the goals, we need to get the training done, the competencies put together, the products developed, and then those products used to satisfy the needs of sectoral economies in Nigeria. Believe me, this Nigeria is a Nigeria that will grow, and it's going to grow on the backs of Nigerians who are competent, skilled, and ready for the world. And you will begin to see it, because when somebody is skilled, he becomes restless. His restlessness now generates products and services, which we are hungry for. And we are being satisfied now by imports from different parts of the world, but the resources are here. And the most important resource of Nigeria is its people. So our mission is to empower the people and strengthen them, add value to them in such a way that the products and services that come out of them are bespoke of people who are well trained. So Nacetem Finishing School is a school to be, to get more certification, more skills, more competencies, and the collaborative opportunities are enormous. And we work with so many people, it will shock you how we do our work,
It's been a pleasure having you on this conversation, Dr. Olushola Segun Odunsoya, Director General, National Center for Technology Management, Nacetem.
Thank you very much for sharing with me. I appreciate it.
Join us for more conversation on these issues and many more on digivationnetwork.com.ng for further details. I'm yours, Hilary Damisa, saying bye-bye for now.
For more on well-researched and balanced stories, events, and interviews across business, tech innovation, and lifestyle, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, www.youtube.com/digivationnetwork.